in a lot of ways, I'm really proud of our team and the fact that what we've had to go through, and we felt like, now with this group that we're heading in the right direction, and to come in here and play against a Kansas team that's, Bill's team's always hard to defend. Do a lot of very sound fundamental things, and really, first half went the way we wanted until we had to make some subs, and our freshmen didn't handle some situations where we didn't. You don't want to help them, and we helped them by just some of our breakdowns, and again, not to take anything away from them. But when it got down to it at the end, I felt like they had to make plays to win, which they did. As Azubuike stepped up, made some free throws. Dotson hit a big jump shot. We had a chance at the lob we tried to throw up there. Wasn't very smart on our part, but Eve and John Fulkerson and Bowden and Jalen Johnson, those guys, Santi, I thought settled in maybe the best he's been all year in terms of his presence on the court, not turning the ball over, which is a first for him. But we've got a chance to be a good team, but we need 3 more guys to give us more than they did today, and we'll get back in conference play on Tuesday, and just got to continue to try to grow this team and work through some of the things that we didn't do well today.
Rick, you said you think this team's headed in the right direction. What specifically about today makes you say that?
Well, I go back to the last couple of games. I think defensively we're getting more sound, and they're a very difficult team to defend. When Azubuike got going was when our 2 freshmen were in there, and they did the exact opposite of what we wanted. We didn't want to go for steals. We wanted to fight for position and not let him get to the rim as he did, because we were planning on hitting him from behind with a double, but they just took themselves out of position before we even had a chance to get a rotation. But overall, with this team, again, Kansas, I didn't really look at this yet. What they shoot, 40, what is that? Is that 46%?
46%.
Yeah. But the dunks, you take away, you can't take away the dunks because they're really good at it. They move the ball well, they see it, but that stretch where when he really got off was a pivotal part in the first half, and I thought we were hanging on there at the end of the first half, but we got down, and with this group, we didn't flinch. We kept guys, Folke and Eve felt like they could do what they wanted to do out there, and we were going to play through those guys, and felt like we could go inside. Certainly, we're going to go at Azubuike from the beginning. That was our game plan, and the very first play of the game we did that, and we were going to keep going there because he's a difference maker when he's out there. But in some ways, they have those 4 guards out there around him. They're a really difficult team to guard because they can space you out. They drive the ball well. They unselfish with it, and but hard team to guard. But we had a lot of good things. But I told our guys we've got a chance to be a good team. We're not there yet, but. And you guys have followed us, we've had a lot of different things, but we just feel like this group is heading in the right direction now.
You surprised to get that performance out of Josiah after what you've seen from him the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, for what he's been doing. But you know what? It goes back to practice. He hasn't been very good in practice the last 2 days, and I think that is a direct result of how you play in the game. And it's not like we've done anything different in practice. It's a mindset, and for him to, what he had a pretty tough line today. What do you have, 6 turnovers, I think? But again, it's new. All this stuff's new to him. But I was surprised he went backwards today because we felt like he'd really been moving forward.
Rick, with how many different looks they give you to try to get the post spins to Udoka, how difficult is that to prepare for and to communicate to your team kind of what you want?
It's difficult because they know what they want to do with it, and he's got some length, and they can throw it up there, and we never ever thought we could go with him one-on-one. We didn't think that. We were just trying to fight for space to get him where we could maybe surround him a little bit. But to get the ball there, it's a commitment from the perimeter guys too. But it's also neat to know that if you got a guy like that, you get it close, he can go get it. And he had some big blocks there at the end, and where. Again, I really respect him because we played him a year ago, and he has improved so much. He really has. I love watching tape of him and watching how he's really tried to improve on his ball screen defense, where he does move as well. And what we simply want to do is to try to get him into multiple actions. We didn't want him just to guard one action. We wanted to make him see if he could guard a couple of different things and try to get him away from there so we could, after guard something, we could drive him, which earlier we were doing some of that. But They do it. Bill's teams have always been terrific at knowing what they want, and they play with a real sense of purpose, knowing that they want to get it there. And I thought offensively today we did that because we said from the beginning we're going in there. We're going to make them guard. And a couple times we got caught up and got going a little bit too quick and lost focus there. But I'm sure Bill would say they did the same a couple different times. But again, I think it's just Bill's philosophy, and he's got a guy that he likes to get it there. And you're right; they do it. They do some sneaky things that they can get you with, and you watch as much tape as Mike Schwartz, my assistant coach. I think he does as good a job as anybody in the country. And we knew what they were coming with. I'm not sure, but even the backdoor lob to start, we showed that, and they went at the guy they wanted to get, and they got him. And that goes back to being alert. But for the most part, I thought we were in position, except again a couple breakdowns with our freshmen when we were switching. But they know what they're looking for, and they attack it hard that way. They really are very precise with what they're trying to do.
Can you just talk through the Hack-a-Shack idea, the process, the mindset?
We only did it one time.
Yeah.
We only did it one time because you know what? First of all, we needed a break. Fulk UD, they won them. I think they went the distance in the second half. Other than that, we did. I don't particularly want to do that. We will if we have to, But if we had gotten fouled, we would have done it again on our foul line. We could have, But again, I think he had to make those plays. Those were big free throws, and you know what? Maybe we made him get better today. But
Did the shots impact whether you did it again? The fact that he made them?
no,
Okay.
no, we weren't. No, actually, we had. And what disappointed us with his dunks, we said before we let him do that, if we're close, we're not going to let him get it up. And our freshmen just went for steals, and they couldn't do that. We're not going. I mean, the guy. Well, see, how many shots he missed today?
One.
So I think he's missed 50 on the year, right? I mean, think about it. I don't know if I'd call it Hack-a-Shack. I'd call it playing the percentages because he's not going to miss those. I mean, he'll put you and the ball in the basket. But the only one time we did it, but at the end, but they're too smart. They're not going to throw it to them when they know that. We actually made a good play because they ran them out to a ball screen, and Uros actually did exactly what we thought without not making a basketball play.
Two more.
Rick, are you getting a setting like this against a team like Kansas and you over here?
Where are you? Oh, okay.
Note that your team didn't flinch. I mean, is that something when you play a game like this that you maybe learned about this team today when to have this kind of challenge and have them respond like that?
Yeah, honestly, this team today reminded me of Grant Williams' freshman year. We went into John Fulkerson's freshman year. We go into North Carolina, and they're ranked, I think, where were they, Tom? They're one of the top teams in the country, and we fought them like this at the very end, and John Fulkerson had a game like this his freshman year. Then he came back the next game and took a charge and tore his labrum, broke his elbow, wrist, and he missed 10 months where he could not do anything. But this is what that game felt like with a group of young guys that had walked into a very, a terrific basketball arena. But we're going to see it. I mean, Rupp Arena, Arkansas, we're going to see it. But this group hasn't necessarily seen it. The other group, the last 2 years, they thrived on it, to be quite honest with you. They did. They loved it. And for the way that, and again, I told you, 3 of the freshmen didn't do very well today. But Eve Pons and guys that played big minutes, and those 3 guys today that showed up and got done today what they needed, they've been in this kind of environment before. And I thought they weren't fazed by it. But you can't do it with 3 guys. You can't. And I even thought Jalen Johnson and Santiago. I would have been shocked if he would have melted down because he's been in big situations before. But to answer your question, yeah, I think this is good for us. But it doesn't mean anything unless we can build on it. We got to go home and get ready for Texas A&M and on Tuesday. And then this is separation month. We're right in the middle with a bunch of teams that have a lot left, and it's going to get down what teams are going to continue to get better from here on out. And now with Kansas is no different. Bill would tell you the same thing. If you don't get better right now, you're just going to fade to the back of the pack.